streaming every single day until I succeed. Right now, I'm in basically a track, if you can imagine it. You know, for example, when in Dragon Ball Z, Gohan gets sent to have to train with Piccolo because Goku died to Raditz at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of like that. That's the kind of everything. Like when Goku got sent, met Master Roshi and started training with Krillin. I'm in that type of moment right now. So it's not that interesting. Maybe I'm not gonna get that much viewer retention or viewers in general, but because I'm just starting. But the focus isn't viewership. The focus is sharing the journey. So day 10 will be streaming every single day until I succeed. And so far, I understand that start to do the things I need to do and stack them up over time. Over time, I'll get sponsorships. Over time, I get brand deals. Over time, I will get clientele to train and of that sort. Jabroni. Hey man, did you see Cleveland get cooked in the end? I don't really watch football, so I'm not sure if that's football or what that is. I haven't watched that. But it's good to see you in the stream, Jabroni. What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? Back at it. I changed the name of the stream. You know that I stream every single day, but now I'm streaming for a reason. And the streams, I always stream for a reason, but now the streams are for specifically me, sharing my journey into becoming a gym owner and a successful personal trainer or online coach. I'm gonna share it because I think it's possible that anyone can do this as well. I'm gonna share the whole journey. A lot of people show you the highlights and the process and only the good moments, but this is gonna be different because I'm gonna be sharing you every moment in terms of how I'm feeling that day and how I am. I can't hide it, and I can't just show you the highlights of the day or the good foods I eat. Instead, I can show you who I authentically am and my process ongoing to do that. I've been doing all right, man. What's going on, sire? What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for passing by the stream. Back at it again. Staying live, trying to push forward and build things up. I'm on the way home right now from work, so if I do take a little while to read your full comments because of that, because I'm on the highway. All right, man. High school is just wild. We've had 3 fights in the first 2 weeks. That's insane that you had 3 fights in the first 2 weeks. That's crazy. What the heck? Type of high school? It must be the area or the kids. That's crazy. Be careful, Jabroni. What's going on, sire? What's going on, Prime? What's going on? So the focus right now for me is to get all 3 of my certifications. So I want to be a CBT, nutrition coach, and also a corrective exercise specialist. I think once I get those certifications, the process and the goals that I'm going to have oriented after that is going to be to either work at a gym or to try to build an online clientele. So that could be maybe through YouTube or most likely through my Instagram and through references. I noticed that most gyms or businesses in general, let's say even barbering, it takes references. I was working at the hospital and I met a plumber. He had his own business. And one of the main things he referenced, he said is, man, listen, once you get started and you get people to refer you other people, that's when you're going to start making money. And that's the truth. If you look at personal trainers, if you look at businesses, most of their clientele comes from people who referred them to that spot. And the reason is because references are so important because it's personal. You trust this person's telling you to go here, therefore you're more prone to do it. It's going to do better than any ad. It's going to do better than any type of sales training or anything you can do. References are superior. So as dumb as it sounds and as crazy as it sounds, the same way as credit, in order to get a lot of clientele, you need to have clientele. As dumb as that sounds, that's true. Clients give you more clients. And I can't wait for my next episode of public speaking. We're back on it again. We're just going through the process, going through the junction. I've been watching Dragon Ball Z as of recent, and Dragon Ball Z is pretty fire. I'm on episode around 10 with Piccolo, and not 10, but Piccolo Training Gohan, it just started, and they just beat Raditz not too long ago. It's pretty fire. One of the best animes I've ever watched, and I really like a lot of the principles that they teach within the anime, because in Dragon Ball Z, Goku loses, and he doesn't take it in a way of complete loss or failure. And I think that's how we should take our lives and apply it to ourselves. We should not take losses as failure, but we should take them as lessons and move forward with them. When Goku and Dragon Ball lost against Master Roshi in the World Tournament, he did not take it as an L, but rather he said, wow, what a fierce competitor. I one day will work harder and beat you the next time I see you. That is how we should take into our daily life. We should not take L's in such a bad way. Jonan Larson, hi, what's going on? What's going on? Not only that, losses are going to happen. When I was growing up and I was playing high school ball, I was worried about missing. I was worried about not making all the shots, and I was thinking that I had to make all these shots, or I have to make this layup every single time. And realistically, the truth of the matter is, you're gonna miss shots. You're gonna miss shots, and the only thing that you can control is if you stay balanced, despite missing the shots, despite making the shots. You stay centered and focused. You need to not be affected by outside things. And I talked about this in intrinsic and extrinsic things. You need to have an intrinsic system of not only motivation, but also how you react to your outside environment. Because if you allow your outside environment that is highly random and uncontrollable to decide how you feel, you are now being controlled or governed or slave of the things around you, and you never want to do that. Yeah, I'm on the highway. I'm cruising, Ryan. I'm flying. But it's not that dangerous, because if you use a GPS, and I'm also hands-free, if you use a GPS, you do the same thing I'm doing right now. So, yeah. It's not that dangerous if you're going to do the same thing I'm doing right now, looking at your phone, if you're using a GPS. So it's not that dangerous. And I'm a pro. You feel me? I'm a pro. What's going on, Jade? What's going on? As I was saying, your outside environment cannot dictate how you are. By the way, guys, drop a like, sub if you want to. If you like the content or you like the vibes in here, go ahead and drop in. Anyone that's new, this streaming series is going to be basically me streaming every single day for around 10 to 20 minutes, sharing how I'm feeling, any updates on my personal training and in my business and my entrepreneurial journey, and allowing you guys to join me along the way. So that's the main goal of this series. Is just for people. It's not for notoriety, but it's to impact the people that do join. And I don't push it out as much, because I want it to be whoever comes by and whoever truly finds value in it goes ahead and watches and follows along, because people just show their highlights, but I want to show my actual life. How old am I? I am 22. I'm 22. Yeah. So, like I was saying, references is one of the main things that you should try to be building. And in order to get a reference, it's kind of like how you build a credit without credit. To build a credit without credit, you need to have but one of the best ways is to have a secured credit card. What is comparable to a secured credit card in business and entrepreneurial journeys is basically building clientele with the people that are in your warm market, your friends, your family. And I always say that if you're going to go into something, you must trust that thing that you're going into. You must be able to you don't need to sell it to your family and friends, but starting there, and you don't have to sell it, could be for free, but offering your services, especially if it's service-based like barbering or whatever, to the family or your friends close to you, and building that and starting there to have some type of notoriety within yourself and having them maybe refer you to other people because they trust you, they see how good your services are. It's how you start a somewhat secure credit card in terms of business. Ryan Haas says, I think 25. I'm 22. 22. My favorite song. My favorite song. I'm very random on songs. I don't have any specific song that I usually pick on a daily basis. Red Light, Green Light by Caleb Gordon. I like listening to Christian music, and whenever that song comes on, I really like it. I like Through the Wire, but I don't have any specific songs. So I'll list 5 songs that I listen to a lot. Through the Wire by Kanye West. Red Light, Green Light by Caleb Gordon. Corazón Sin Cara by Prince Royal. that's a, you know, got that little Hispanic inside of me. Do I have a favorite artist? Caleb Gordon. Caleb Gordon is my favorite artist. Caleb Gordon. After Caleb Gordon, if I'm being honest without being biased, and I'm actually looking at who I listen to the most, it'll probably be Kanye or Drake. Kanye or Drake. Thanks for the questions, by the way, Ryan. You know, I usually don't get the questions or people interacting with me like that, so that's actually refreshing. I don't have to constantly think about new subjects. So yeah, artists and music. Music and what you listen to drastically affects your thoughts because they're subliminals that are within the music and subconscious things going on when you listen to a certain type of music. Do you play games on Roblox? Nah, Ryan, I do not play no games on Roblox. The only games I play is chess. I play basketball every now and then, and that's all I do. I stayed away from games mostly because I get very, very addicted with games, and I cannot afford to be addicted at this time of my life right now to any video game. So I stay far, far away. I have a highly addictive personality. But music is something that you should really be paying attention to. The music that you listen to can change your mood or better your mood or worsen your mood. So you need to focus on picking the right types of artists and right types of music and songs when you're listening to it. Because a lot of people, they go to the depressing music when they're depressed. And what happens, they become more and more depressed because the music and what they're listening and singing along to is something that is detrimental to them. People don't think music affects you, but music doesn't affect you, but you singing along and you chanting it in a way is a way of casting a spell upon yourself. It can better your mood or to worsen your mood. It can give you these thoughts that you should not have these type of thoughts, and etc. So yeah, what's my favorite NBA team? Golden State Warriors. I don't even know why I hesitate. Golden State Warriors, my favorite team. Even though I live in Miami. Golden State Warriors by far. Man, basketball was something so huge for me. I thought I was going to try to make the league, but I never was that crazy at basketball, to be honest. I was a high school player. Just a transition. It was kind of difficult. Your brother likes them too. That's pretty cool. I mean, Curry, man. Curry. I love how Curry approaches the game, how he puts it up, he puts his finger up for God, and he talks about God. I love that aspect, and also his mindset. When he misses shots, he didn't let it affect him too much, and it's things that go into becoming the greatest shooter of all time. You don't become just the greatest shooter of all time because you put up the most shots, but there's a mental aspect of it. Curry has one of the best mental frameworks for shooting because he does not allow the shot before to affect him, and he's just so good at that. And with the combination of the shots that he put up and the work that he put in and his mentality is what makes him the greatest shooter of all time. He's willing to take that shot and not allow it to affect him. He's willing to take the 30-footer and not allow it and miss it and not allow that to affect him for the next time he takes that 30-footer. And I was talking about this earlier. You should not allow your failures to affect your mindset, because when it affects your mindset, it then only makes you perform worse. When you go 0 for 9 in one half, you can go 9 for 9 the next half. But if you allow that 0 for 9 to affect you would never know if you would shoot better. Draymond started shooting 40% from the field this year. And the reason he started shooting 40% from the field, he said, it was just a mental shift. Instead of when he went 0 for 3 at the beginning of the game, he stopped shooting. He continued to shoot. And that ends up fixing his percentage because then he'll make the next 3. Do not allow your shots or your failed attempts to affect your future. It'll be detrimental to you. Very detrimental to you. So keep shooting. Despite the misses, despite the errors. I try to keep streaming. I try to keep making videos despite the failed videos, quote unquote, etc. But truly, here's a perception shift that I want people to have. If you're publishing videos as well, do not allow the view count to affect you. And don't focus on view count. You can have 100,000 views but have no retention and have no placement of those views. If you have a bunch of views but they're not going towards a target, what is the purpose of it? You need to have a lot of views going towards something that is you or that's uplifting. Ryan says, yo, say 6'7". 6'7". A lot of people keep saying, one of my videos I got 21,000 views. That's pretty cool, bro. It's nice. It's nice. But the main thing you should be focusing on, what I was trying to say, is not the viewer count, but rather the retention of the viewer. Are you getting subs? Are you getting people that come back again or not? And are you impacting them? So the retention and the impact are on the viewer. Because maybe sometimes they don't come back, but they might have changed their life, or you may have impacted them in a way that they may come back one day for money or as a client one day. Not money, but as a client. And I firmly believe if I'm offering a service, I try to offer the service as fair as possible and as good as possible. Try to help people. That's my goal with life, with personal training. That's why I want to be a personal trainer, to help people, to coach people, to maybe coach the younger people, hopefully one day, and uplift them and give them strategies that I didn't have when I was young, and tell them the things I wanted to hear when I was young. When I grew up, I didn't have a father figure, and trainers and gyms and coaches were that father figure for me. And my brother was my father figure. So Ryan says, yay. But yeah, I think I'm going to be ending the stream soon. I'm about to get home. I'm going to record the next episode of Public Speaking. Hope you guys like the stream. I thank anyone for passing by the stream and showing love. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Ryan, for the questions and using the chat and talking to me. It was great. Peace. I'm going to be heading out. See you guys on the next live.